Welcome students. In today's class we will learn about modules in Python. Now foremost, modules are very important, specifically if you are utilizing Python in developing applications. And when I say applications, I mean whether be it web related applications or applications which are standing alone. It doesn't matter. Either of these cases, you will be extensively utilizing modules. Now, having mentioned that, let me start by giving you some vital informations on modules in Python. So, what exactly is a module? A module is a file containing definitions and statements, simple as that, right? Now, whenever you are utilizing or whenever after creating a module, if you want to import a module, the file name is actually the name of the module with the suffix .py. So in other words, when you create the module, you will have to save the file with .py extension, and then when you are importing the module, all you need to do is just write the name, just say import the name of the module, whatever name you have given. Okay, so the best way to understand is through an illustration. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Now before I could give you the illustration, you need to know why do we use modules, right? That's the most important question that every student would like the answers for. First thing, it's code reusability. Now you don't have to keep writing the codes for say certain applications. Say for example, you have created an application where given the radius of a circle, any circle for that matter, that application would give you the area of the circle. Isn't it beautiful, or isn't it marvelous? You have an application where all people need to do is to provide you with the radius. So once a radius is given, you get the area, right? Now imagine there is a situation where you do not use modules. So what are you going to be doing? Say 100 people would like to have the areas of say 500 circles. They want to create some architectural marvel and they want to place some circles there and they would like to calculate the area, and they come to you. You cannot be creating 500 applications, right? It's going to be waste of time. And not only waste of time, waste of resources and waste of precious energy. So code reusability is a very important attribute or functionality that modules have. So what exactly does it mean? So we can define a function. In this case, you are writing a code. When you say define, you are writing a code to calculate the area of a circle. So that's the functionality of that particular module, right? So in a module, and simply import that into your application. Simple as that. And your application will use the function, right? What is the function we are talking about? The function to calculate the area of the circle. Now what if you have a triangle and inside the triangle there is a circle and there is a necessity to calculate the area of the circle? What do? You create a big application. Inside the application, you import this module which has the ability to calculate the area of the circle. So as I mentioned to you, your creativity is your only limiting factor. And another important aspect is organizing code. Now whenever you write an application, usually an application would be completed with, say for example, it is an intermediate application. At least 500 lines of codes would be required, at least 500 lines of codes. But I'm not saying it is really necessary that 500 lines ought to be there. I'm just giving a broader picture. So organizing codes is important. Now modules are used to organize codes in a logical way, right? Say for example, you calculate the area of the circle and then you move to the area of the triangle, you create a module for that, and then the circle, the triangle are present inside a rectangle, and then you move to finding the area of the rectangle, right? So it's a logical process. So first the circle, next the triangle, and then the rectangle. And keeping related codes together, making sure that all related codes are kept at one place, right? So that's exactly what we do. This is how we handle situations in the real life, right? So for example, people who are getting grade A, all of them are issued grade A, and they are all in one category. People who are getting grade B, they are in the second category. People who are getting grade C, third category, and so on and so forth. So having given you this, it's time that we go and give an application, right? Application in the sense how exactly we create a module. So I'm going to start with a simple illustration, and then I will slowly gravitate. Welcome students. In the previous class we have learned about modules. What is a module in Python? Why do we need modules, and how do we use modules, using some illustrations. Now in this class what I wish to do is I would like to give you a full-fledged application. Now if you were to, say for example, create an application, say where the area of a circle can be calculated and the area of a square can be calculated, the area of a rectangle can be calculated, and the area of the right triangle can be calculated. So you are creating an application which has the ability to calculate each of these areas, the shapes of these areas. So that is the objective. Now let me go to PyCharm and show you a powerful aspect. Now over here what I wish to do is I will go to the folder I have created. This is the folder. We'll be working on this folder. So go there and say new file. In new file I'm going to create the, say, a module called as area, right? That's the module, and I'm going to say .py. Okay, now in this module I'm going to perform the various, or I should say create the functions that I would be requiring. Now also let me go back to the module folder and create another file, a new file, and then I will say area calculator.py. So this is the application we are creating, right? So over here let me show you an important part. If I were to import this module, this is a built-in module in Python, and over here if I were to say print dir of math, right, you just see what the output is going to be. I'm going to run here. So when I say run, I'm going to run this area calculator application. Now clearly you see all of these are all functions that can be called the minute you import math. You see cos, cosh, you want to calculate degrees, you can, e, exponential, arrow function, factorials, floor function, so much of these. All of these are all created in the math. LCM You see that? LCM can be calculated, log can be calculated, log to the base 10 can be calculated. So many of these are all created. You see that? The sine function, shin function, square root function, tan, hyperbolic tan, the pi. If you want to utilize the value of pi, you can import math libraries. So all of these are all functions present in the module. This can be called a module or a library. That is the power of this particular module. Now we are going to create a similar module, and that module is for calculating the areas. So what I wish to do is I'm going to say def area of the circle calculator, right? So I'm going to say area, let me write it like this, circle area. I think that would be better. Circle area, and then for that we would have to pass in two values. One is the value of pi, the other one is the value of r, right? I don't want to use pi, probably I will say pii. And how do we calculate? We have to utilize this formula. So we will simply say print whatever values that we are getting. Area is area of the circle is equal to, comma, it's pii pi multiplied with r, right? So that would give you the solution. Simple as that. So this one will give us the area of the circle. Next, area of the square, DEF square area. So for the square we need a side, right? So I'm just taking that and I'm going to say print area of the square is equal to side into side. That's it. Next, area, right triangle area, right, or rectangle area. Rectangle area, you need two things. You need length and breadth. Probably you say length and breadth, or I will give it as width. Over here, print area of the rectangle is equal to length times width. That's it. Now the next is right triangle area. Right triangle area, you need base into height. So you print area of the right triangle is equal to, I'm going to write half as 0.5 multiplied with base into height. That's it, story done. So I'm going to save all of this. It's all of these are saved under area.py, right? So you need to place a colon there. So everything looks fine. You save it. Now you go to the area calculator and then you say import area. Then you go over here. Then you can actually ask, you can give a menu, or say you can, if you want, you can give a menu, whatever you want to calculate. Say I'm going to say menu options is equal to int of input enter 1. Let me give it like this. Enter 1 to find the area of circle. Right? Probably I can give 3 quotes like this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then over here 2. Enter 2 to find the area of square. Three, enter 3 to find the area of rectangle, and enter 4 to find the area of right triangle. Okay, and probably you can give a demarcation, something like that. So these are the options. Now we need to give a check, right? So the check is if menu options is equal to 1. I'm going to say menu options is equal to 1. Then you call area dot, go to the function is circle area, right? You go and call circle area, and then I'm going to pass in 2 things. I'm going to pass in pi value, comma radius value. So over here you need to give in that values. Okay, pi value is equal to int of input. You just say please enter the value of pi you wish to use, right? Pi has got many specification. So instead of saying int, I'm going to say float here. That's better. And I'm also going to give in this value, radius underscore value is equal to float of input, any radius they can do. Please enter the radius of the circle. So radius is got, and this is going to be underscore, just to make reading a little bit better, right? So we are calling in, and then the values will be printed. Now if this fails, elif menu options equal to 2, then we will have to call in this one. We will have to call the area of the square. So this is going to be area dot area of the square. We have to give 2 sides, right? Side 1 value, comma side 2 value. So for that I need again the 2 prints. So I'm going to say I'm going to take the values here, side 1, and then please enter the value of side 1. Over here please enter the value of side 2, so of the square. And then once you have entered, this will give you the output. So next again elif, if menu options is equal to 3, then you call the area of the rectangle, you call this one, right? So I'm going to say area dot this, and I'm going to pass length into width. So for that I'm going to say length value comma width value. That's going to be sent there. So over here I need to, instead of saying radius, I will have to say side 2, right? So I'm going to copy these two things and I will ask the values here. So instead of saying side 1, in fact I can simply take it as side 1, but anyway I've given length, I will take it as length, and the width, please enter the value of length you wish to use, width of the rectangle here. So that is asked, that is got. Okay, so that's fine. And else LF, I think LF is better. LF menu options is equal to 4. Then what you got to do, you're going to have the right triangle. So this is what it has to be called. So go here and say area dot this base into height, right? Base into height. So base value comma height value, that is going to be called over here. I'll just copy this and then I will say base value base into height. Over here please enter the value of base and please enter the height of the right triangle. Okay, and then that looks nice. If the options fails, if they give something else, print please enter a valid option. Okay, now we can always put this in the while loop, but for now I am just keeping it simple, right? So the options are, or I should say the module is imported and the module is used. That's as simple as that. So this is the entire program, right? So I'm saving it and then I will go to run and I will run it. When running it, I'm going to choose this area calculator. So enter 1 to find the area of the circle. So the one, if I were to enter 1, it will ask me for a value of pi. Please enter the value of pi, 3.14. You know the pi value can be actually sure, you can choose the value of pi, whichever value you want. I am just taking the significance, but if you want more precision you can increase the digits. So please enter the radius is 6 units. Okay, so now I need to get the area of the circle. You see that area of the circle is this. Now the question is this the area? Is this area? So let me go to the calculator. So pi r squared, so that means 3.14 multiplied with 6 multiplied with 6. You see that 3.14. I should say multiplied with 6 multiplied with 6 is producing me 113.04. Absolutely correct. Now, if you would have utilized this while loop, you would be prompted again, but I have not utilized while loop. I just want to keep the module application simple. So you can run it one more time. I'm going to run this one more time. I want to check for the square. So I'm going to say 2, and it says please enter the value of side 1 and side 2, right? The square has only one side, all sides are same. So I'm going to say 8. This is asking me enter another side 8, so 64 square units. So we have an issue. So it says square 1 but 2 were given. Okay. The problem is we are given side. You see that we have only taken one side. So in this case we have to change the value. So because it's a square, I will have to change that. So please input the value of the side for the square, right? So just 1 is enough, and I can take that off. I can save it and I can run it, and I'm entering 2. Enter the value, say 8. You see that? Beautiful, 64 units. And for the rectangle, let me run it one more time. For the rectangle, I am giving 3. So enter the value of the length, say 12 units. The value of the width, say 5 units. Length into breadth, 60. You see? Beautiful. And let me run it one more time to check the right triangle. I'm going to enter 4, and the base is 7 units. The height is 14 units, so 49 should be the answer. You see that? Lovely. So finally we need to run it to check if we enter, say, option 8. Please enter a valid option. Fantastic. So that is how we utilize modules, students. So this is a beautiful illustration, a fantastic one, and we have executed it in a beautiful manner. Thank you everybody. Until we meet again, enjoy your day.